Can you imagine going on a walk with a group of dogs in public without a leash? I might dare you to do it if they were toy dogs, but we're talking about enormous German Shepherd dogs, who are, of course, enormous and frightening if they lunge on someone's throat. One young man's dogs are so well behaved that they don't even require a leash when walking in public. That sounds insane, but multiple videos on YouTube demonstrate that this is true. Is he a so-called dog whisperer? Maybe he's a werewolf disguised as a man. But do you believe such a creature exists? What's evident to me is that these dogs know who's in charge, who's the pack leader. It takes a lot of bravery to bring a huge pack of dogs down a street where people could be bitten. Consider how difficult it would be to remove these enormous dogs off their victim if they were to attack. Of course, this man was well aware of the potential implications of such an attack, but he was confident that his pack would follow his orders. The dogs are strolling close to the man's heels, keeping up with his pace, as you can see in the first video. There was never a time when a dog tried to play or ran ahead. They were really well behaved. Even when there were people in the path, such as two children crossing at a crosswalk, the dogs paid no heed to them since they were focused on their leader. The best portion came at the very end. He told them to come to a halt and lie down, and they obeyed. They did not attempt to pursue him after he walked a few meters away. He returned to the point where he'd come to a halt, and they all instantly stood up and followed him. That's fantastic. Although the initial video went viral with over 8 million views, the young man's abilities were not universally praised. Many others believe he's using shock collars to force these canines to submit. These humans believe the dogs aren't well trained, but they're more terrified of being punished, so they're doing everything they can to avoid making a mistake since they'll pay the price later. Many people, on the other hand, believe that these dogs were actually well trained. The films were published by user Griffin Shepherd Kennels, who also has a lot of other great movies on German Shepherds in action, all without a leash. It's easy to see why you'd want to keep your dog on a leash. Protection from cars, other dogs, people, wildlife, and potential hazards like rodenticides in public parks. But are there any advantages to letting your dog off the leash? There is a possibility. Allowing your dog off leash can, of course, result in fights, injuries, poisonings, and other issues. So before you free the hounds, make sure you're keeping your off-leash dog as safe as possible by following the advice below. Recognize that your dog isn't the only one who's at risk while they're off-leash. Off-leash dogs have damaged or emotionally traumatized many other dogs, including service dogs, people, especially children, and wildlife. Before you go off-leash, be sure your dog responds to commands reliably and regularly. Get some treats and a clicker. Crouch down and extend your hand a few feet away from the dog. Encourage them to put their noses on your hand. When they accomplish what you want, click to mark the successful action to explain why they're getting a treat. Then give them a reward and congratulate them. Repeat this process until they begin to comprehend what you want. This should take approximately 10 to 20 tries. Repeat the process as you get farther and farther away. Start using a marker phrase like come or over here and repeat with clicks, treats, and praise after they comprehend the behavior. Toss in some distractions, such as other people or toys, or take them out into your yard to put their talents to the test.